Chapter 2: Example Sequences, Autoresponders, and Personalization. In this section, we're going to go over some exact plans of action you can use for creating follow-up sequences you will send out after someone subscribes to your newsletter or buys a product from you. For example, here's an excellent follow-up sequence you should use after they sign up for your list or buy a product. Message 1: Instant. Send them a download link to the product, thank them for their purchase or sign up, and give them a way to contact you for help, support, or questions. This can simply be saying, reply to this email for assistance, or a link to a support desk. Message 2: 3 days after first message. Ask them if they were able to download the product okay, and let them know you are available for any questions they may have, and let them know how to get in contact with you again. Message 3: 10 days after first message. Point to a great benefit or feature of the product they just got from you and tell them specifically how to enjoy that benefit. If it's an ebook, tell them the page number and where to read the information they can use. If it's a physical product, describe how to do something that specifically helps them. Message 4: 20 days after first message. This message is meant to cover common questions someone might have about your product. If you don't have any questions, or if your product is still new, you will want to go through your product and think what a customer may ask and write these down. Another option is to check out the websites of competing products and see if they have a common questions listed you can use to mold your own. On the other hand, if you have questions people have sent you regarding your product, you have answers. Simply gather the questions and answers and arrange them into a message. This message is meant to address any blocks the customer may be having regarding the use or consumption of the product they just haven't had time to ask. Message 5: 30 days after first message. This message should contain a bonus. Now, whatever you are selling, whether it be digital or physical product, I always recommend the bonus be digital. Why? You can offer some information that enriches the use of their product and helps them get more out of it while delivering it in a way that costs nothing to produce or deliver. The best part is they get this instantly. I also recommend you set up a sales page that shows you are really selling the bonus so that they get the feeling of getting something paid for free, rather than just getting something someone specifically created to be a freebie. Okay. This month-long sequence of messages is what I like to call nurturing the customer. In the first month, you don't try to sell them anything. You help them by making sure they got your product, helping them consume it or use it, and also answer any questions or concerns they may have. You cap it all off with a bonus that further increases the value they received from your product and makes them an even more satisfied customer. So what's the next step? It's to get them to buy an additional product, service, or offer. Once you've gone through the process of helping your customer get every bit of value out of the product or service they purchased through you, it's time to move them further down the sales highway. How do you do this? Simple. Offer products and services to them every 2 weeks. And the most important point you need to understand here is you will not be just sending them canned solo ads that try to cram a new product down their throats every 2 weeks. Here are the 2 main points I use when crafting messages I send out after the initial month of taking care of my customers. 1. The advertisement must not actually be an advertisement, but an honest review of the product or service being recommended. You want to make sure you don't come across as a slimy salesman that will say anything for the sale. Keep the hype down to a minimum and focus on benefit-rich features of the product or service you are recommending, with a big emphasis on the benefits that come from owning or using the product or service. 2. Find a product that is at least 50% more expensive than the last product you sold them. So, for example, if you sold them an ebook for $67, you're going to try to find something that is around $100 for the next offer. Why? They have already shown trust by making the purchase of a $67 product, so it's only natural to move them up to a product that costs more and offers more value. You want to make sure that you show them the extra value that they get for the extra money they are spending, as mentioned in tip number 1. So using those 2 points to create your messages and select products that move your customer up in the price range of product, create reviews. A note on reviews. There are many different ways to structure product recommendations that allow you to present your sales message without seeming salesy. This is actually pretty easy. You just have to name them correctly and structure your review correctly. Here's what I mean. 1. Review. This is your standard review. You want to explain the product and why it's worth buying from the perspective of a buyer who found this product and enjoyed it. Talk about how it helped you and why you think it will help them. Let them know you have tried it and personally recommend it to them. It's all about seeming personal yet professional. 2. Case study. The case study is a pretty cool way to structure a review type of email message. The way you do this is find someone who has used the product you want to promote and create a case study around their experience and story. This can be as easy as going to the sales letter for their website, finding a testimonial that has some good product specifics in it, and using that information along with visiting their website, if they have one listed, to create a case study. A case study is a third party, you, analyzing the results that an average person got from using the product you want to promote. Of course, if you want to go all out, you could hunt the person down you want to do the case study on and ask them questions and do a real case study based on your questions. 3. Researcher. This is a great way, probably the best, to appear like you are not selling anything, or at least not hard selling. What you do is write up a review, but instead of just your standard review, you find information on the product you're promoting on sites like YouTube, Squidoo, Google Groups, etc. You want to find information, videos, and content that is based on user opinions on your product. If you can add this to your review and also point to the YouTube videos and other unbiased links that help your message and recommendation, this will make you look like an honest reviewer rather than the compensated affiliate. This strategy is also great for keeping people interested and on your mailing list for as long as possible because they think you are a consumer advocate for products that are related to their interests, so they definitely want to hear what it is you have to say. This is probably the single best way to keep people listening to you, although through testing, I have found the more direct review approach will close more sales initially, which will mean more upfront profits to you. I do believe over time you could make more money from people through the researcher approach, though. These are a few simple ways you can send people advertisements without them actually appearing as advertisements. The truth is, most people who see an ad will delete the message immediately, so if you can get past that ad meter, you have the power to present your message in a less direct, although just as direct approach. There you have it. That's the simple follow-up procedure you'll be using to convert your eBay leads into paying customers and your customers into bigger customers. Now on to autoresponders. An autoresponder is an email tool that enables a person to sign up to receive information about your product or service, join your newsletter, mailing list, or subscribe to an e-course. It's related to the old fax back service, except it uses email and your mail server instead of paper and a fax machine. Smart marketers use autoresponders for all of the following and more: answering frequently asked questions, delivering content that's designed to automate the sales process, build client loyalty and brand identification, automate the customer service process. Autoresponders are essential. Consistency and follow-up is the key to profits. Once you have obtained someone's email address and their permission to hear from you, it makes no sense to abuse that relationship by not delivering what you promised. That's where using an autoresponder to automate your newsletter or e-zines comes into play. When you use an autoresponder, you can operate in set and forget mode. You simply load up your autoresponder with a series of messages, set the contact interval, and walk away. It doesn't get any easier than that. When you follow up with each person on your list individually over a period of time and at preset intervals, your sales results increase dramatically. Serious marketers who use autoresponders report their sales have at least doubled as a result of their efforts. One of the best and cheapest autoresponders can be found at www.profitsponder.com. That's www.profitsponder.com. Why autoresponders? Autoresponders never tire of doing their job. When you insert a series into an autoresponder, you are addressing all of the major obstacles to marketing success in one pass. They are: most people do not order a product or service the first time you present it to them. An autoresponder lets you get your sales message in front of the prospect multiple times. Since your goal is to keep your message short, you may not be delivering enough information in any one message to convince the prospect to buy. Autoresponders enable you to reveal more and more about the product or service as the campaign unfolds. Using an autoresponder to handle your mailing frees your time to focus on other aspects of building your business. Prospects who do not have the money to spend on your offer at the moment won't forget about how much they want it if you keep the offer in front of them. Prospects who are comparing your product or service to others won't forget about you during the decision process. Keeping your company name in front of a prospect builds brand awareness. Regular communication helps to build trust. Maximizing your autoresponder use. Whenever I walk into the convenience store around the corner from my house or in my local neighborhood bank, I'm always greeted by name. The people know me there, and they use my name to demonstrate how much they appreciate my business. It makes me feel important, even though I know I'm just one of many customers that pass through their doors every day. It's easy for a merchant to remember the names of their customers and to use those names in conversation. But did you realize it's just as easy to remember your online customers' names as well as other personal details and use all that information in your email communications? Smart autoresponders can be set up to use a person's first or last name as well as any other personalized information you've collected during the sign-up process. Autoresponders can do this because the database table the autoresponder uses contains a record for each subscriber. Most professional strength autoresponders, such as Automatic Responder, that's www.automatic-responder.com, have additional fields that can be used to store any type of information you want for each subscriber. When Autoresponder is running, it substitutes special codes you place into your email message with the corresponding information it finds in the table for that subscriber. Let's look at an example. In our example, watch for the tilde. That's the special squiggly character that you see in the upper left-hand side of your keyboard. Dear, tilde, first name, tilde, name. I just wanted to drop you a message and thank you for subscribing to my newsletter. You will be hearing from me often, so expect to hear about all the great deals and discounts others don't know about on a regular basis. If you examine the above example carefully, you'll see certain special codes that begin and end with a tilde. If your autoresponder database has the subscriber's first and last name, their preferred title, and the name of the city they live in, creating a personalized email message like this would be a breeze to do. Why bother with this type of personalization? Not only does personalization create a feeling of connectivity between the reader and you, but using personalization has proven to increase response rates by an order of magnitude in study after study. And it's not only names and cities that are candidates for personalization. You can use your autoresponder to create subscriber-specific fields that translate into account numbers, product descriptions, special offers segmented by region, age, etc., or nearly anything else you want your customer to see. The uses for personalization are limited only by the power of your imagination. Personalizing your messages. How well does personalization work? Well, let's take a look at a case study involving the ASPCA, a U.S.-based nonprofit organization that is involved in animal rescue. During the organization's holiday donation campaign, the ASPCA decided to segment its email list into 3 groups, which included cat lovers, dog lovers, and people who had no specific affinity to either species. A personalized letter was developed for each group. The email asked each recipient to sponsor a pet and send in a donation on that pet's behalf. The campaign was sent to past donors as well as to newsletter subscribers who had never made a donation. Their basic "Help us find safe homes for the holidays" message was sent to the group with no affinity to any species. The remaining groups received a message with a modified subject line that mentioned cats or dogs. The body of the letter was personalized by using the word cats or dogs in the appropriate places. Appropriate graphics were added. According to the report, response rates for personalized appeals were significantly higher than those for recipients who had not provided an advanced profile. Among donors, the response rate was 230% higher on average for the personalized messages, and among non-donors, it was 86% higher on average for the personalized messages. What an amazing return on investment the ASPCA realized simply by taking time to create a personalized campaign. There's no reason why you can't increase your profits by as much as 230% or more by employing similar tactics. Personalization basics. Of course, there is no way to achieve personalization if the autoresponder database does not contain the fields you want to insert into your email. That's where your subscription form comes into play. If your autoresponder supports the collection of additional fields of data, all you have to do is add those fields to your sign-up form. The corresponding data will be added to the subscriber's record, where it will be available for use in personalization. If your autoresponder does not support collection of additional information, switch to one that does. Aweber, that's www.aweber.com, supports up to 25 fields of additional personalization, plus it includes these built-in personalization options. Name personalization with full name, first name, and last name. Automated capitalization correction. Email address personalization. Geographic information such as origin country, state, city, postal code, area code, latitude, longitude, and DMA code. Date personalization, current, future, and sign-up dates. Insert data from 25 other custom fields you specify. Easy add category inclusion. Extra remove link placement. Signature files. And automatic CAN-SPAM postal address compliance. The all-powerful e-course. An e-course is really nothing more than a series of email messages that are designed to provide information or to teach a concept. E-courses are great marketing tools because you can mention or recommend products or services as part of the course material and provide your affiliate links to the sites you recommend. You don't even have to write your own e-course from scratch. You can use public domain articles, private label resale articles, or any other free-to-use material and customize it to fit your own needs. After the course is developed, you simply load it into your autoresponder and start promoting it to your list and on your website. The autoresponder does all of the follow-up work for you, and you can sit back and watch the affiliate sales come in. Having access to a smart autoresponder and knowing how to use it is an invaluable resource that will make money for you while you eat, sleep, and play. Don't go into business without one. Try www.profitsponder.com. That's www.profitsponder.com for one of the best and cheapest autoresponders on the planet. A recent survey conducted by the Marketing Sherpa organization found out of 3,637 marketers surveyed, 78% of them reported email marketing is increasing in effectiveness. You now know as much about how to use email and autoresponders to grow your business as any of the big marketers know, and much more than the average person who decides to go into business for the first time may ever know. Don't let your newfound knowledge go to waste. Read this book again and again. Get something started and follow through. Don't end up like that newbie in the bedroom marketing article who said, "Internet marketing is a scam and no one is making any money. Trust me, I know. I tried." Email marketing does work, and it works well. Don't take my word for it. Just do it and see for yourself. Chapter 3. Writing Email Advertisements Easily. Writing an effective email advertisement is part art and part science. The science portion is pretty straightforward and can be easily taught. The art portion takes a bit of practice to get it right. Fortunately, there are some great ways to test your email response so you can continually hone the words until you get it right. The three essential parts of an email advertisement are 1. Headline, 2. Message body, the offer, 3. Call to action, order commands. You also saw examples of each headline type along with some samples. Now it's time to go deeper into each of these three essential parts and learn how to construct each of them in order to receive maximum results. Headlines. The hardest part of writing a headline is figuring out what it is you want to say. Don't laugh. You can create the most grammatically perfect headline using the most proper English possible, and the email campaign will probably fall flat. You need to convey your point in as few words as possible and not worry about your high school English teacher grading your paper. It's not going to happen. Your goal is not to show the world what a talented and eloquent writer you are. Your goal is to make the cash register ring. Don't start out focusing on how you're going to say something. Start out focusing on what it is you want to convey to the reader and which of their pain buttons you wish to push. Give your headline the respect it deserves. After all, it's your best salesperson. It's your attention getter. It's the one chance you have to get your offer out in front of your audience. If your headline fails to do its job properly, the remaining portions of your email message will never get their chance to shine. In order to write a powerful headline, you have to step out of your shoes and into the shoes of your prospect. You have to know which buttons need to be pushed. You have to know which words will excite them and which ones will put them to sleep. But most of all, you have to know how to use those words to make it impossible for them not to want to read the remainder of the message. What your headlines should aim to do. 1. Grab the reader's attention. Your ad needs to stand out from the crowd, and it's your headline that's going to make that happen. Unless you attract the reader's attention right up front, you can count on having it hit the trash in about 3 seconds or less. That's about all the time your headline has to make a difference. The only way to attract attention is to hit one or more of the pain buttons described in Chapter 3. 2. Be a funnel. If you are the least bit realistic, you already know that not everyone who receives your ad is going to be a prospect. Some people don't want or need your product or service, and there's little you can do to convince them otherwise. Your headline should weed these people out in advance by not being deceptive in any way. A free offer should be a free offer, and if it's not, don't say it. Don't trick people into reading your email. They won't appreciate it. A few years ago, it was popular for people selling business opportunities to use a headline that read, Notice of payment received. That headline really grabbed attention because it was the exact same headline PayPal uses to notify someone he had received money via PayPal. The opening rate for a message bearing this headline was nearly 100%. However, the click-through rate to the landing page was near zero once people learned they had been deceived. This illustrates the point that attracting attention alone is not sufficient. The headline did not act like a funnel. It did not draw the attention of potentially interested prospects. It drew everyone's attention, yet the campaign was a failure. It is better to let your headline proclaim the truth without giving away so much information that someone doesn't have to read the email message to learn more. Here's an example of a simple headline that will motivate interested people to read more while still telling the truth. Published author reveals how to write a book in 30 days or less. Anyone who is interested in writing a book is going to click to see who this published author is and how it could ever be possible to write a book in 30 days or less. Anyone who has no interest in writing a book is not going to have an interest in your headline. Here's another example. 100 can't fail creamy fudge recipes for free. Fudge lovers will click. Interested cooks will click. Even people who are on diets may click if they are interested in making fudge for friends or family members. 3. Portray the offer in as few powerful words as possible. If you think about it, you'll see your headline is really a standalone sales message. It's designed to sell someone on wanting to read the body of the message. If you carry this out to its final conclusion, it becomes obvious the job of the message body is to sell the reader on clicking on the call to action, so they can be transported to the landing page where the real selling gets done. Email readership studies show 80% of your prospects will read only the headline before deciding whether or not they want to know more. That means you lose 8 out of 10 prospects if your headline doesn't sell. That's why headlines that simply tease a reader don't work. Here's an example of what I mean. I make $500 per day on the internet. Good for you. That's a lot of money, the reader's thinking as he or she clicks the delete button and moves on to the next message in their inbox. This alternative headline will draw a much better response. Discover the secret of making $500 a day on the internet. Actually, the chances are that neither headline is going to pull very well because everyone's tired of getting these types of messages only to discover it's all about one more, no recruiting required, I'll get all your members for you, get rich quick scheme. Try this headline instead. Earn a good second income by reading this free article. How to create more attractive headlines. There's no one fast and firm technique for writing a headline. If the headline works, it's written correctly. If it doesn't work, you'll know. There are, however, some basic headline rules that always work. All you have to do is learn the rules and then write headlines that obey these rules. 1. Keep it simple, stupid, or the KISS method. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to use clever wordplay. Just deliver your message and let the headline do its work. Here's how. Free shipping on all Harry Potter books ordered by January 31. Save 30% on authentic designer purses. Lose 3 dress sizes in 30 days. Learn how to increase your trading skills at a no-cost online seminar. Pay less for Valentine's Day flowers. Pre-order now. 2. Share benefits, not features. Don't make readers wonder what's in it for them. State it up front and state it loud and clear, like this. Order 12 months of eBay News and get 10 eBay store templates free. Make $750 a week in your spare time by cleaning window blinds. Quit smoking in 30 days without cold turkey symptoms. Learn how to profit from the coming oil shortage. 3. Think news when writing your headline. People love a newsy headline. Newspaper journalists know that, so take a cue from their writing style and watch your sales grow. This type of headline skirts a bit around the funnel concept because it doesn't necessarily weed out the interested from the disinterested, but it's powerful enough to make it worth trying. Like this. Brazilian botanist discovers anti-aging nectar in common planter. Unemployed truck driver finds gold in recycled garage junk. Created for his own kids, dermatologist announces new acne treatment. Home business accountant reveals 50 legal tax deductions you overlooked. Don't be concerned if the product or service isn't brand new. It doesn't have to be brand new to be news to someone who's never heard of it. 4. How to. You fill in the blank. You almost can't go wrong with a how-to headline. People love learning new ways to accomplish things, and they love to look knowledgeable to their friends. How to hypnotize anyone in 2 minutes or less. How to write killer headlines every time. How to do all the magic tricks you've seen on TV. How to make money in your spare time with a block of wood and pencil. 5. A thought-provoking question. Pose a question that only can lead them to read your email message to get the answer. People love questions, and they'll love your product or service if you answer it for them. Was your last raise as big as you deserved it to be? Have you ever made this mistake on your resume? What do people think when they hear you talk? Have you ever been nervous about approaching someone you'd like to meet? 6. Tell them what you want them to do. There are plenty of people who are waiting for someone to tell them what to do. You can be their leader if you craft the right headline. Stop wasting time and get the promotion you deserve. Don't let shyness stop you from finding true love. Stop losing at the poker table. Read this article now. Stop looking like you dressed in the dark. 7. Change their lives through informing them. People spend billions of dollars every year on books, magazines, newspapers, and newsletters because they want to change their lives. You can tap into that huge market with your life-changing headlines. 10 steps you need to take now to terrorist-proof your portfolio. Discover the 5 easy steps to writing your own sales copy. 10 things you can do right now to add 20 years to your life. What your dentist hopes you'll never discover about overbilling. Let others say it for you. You don't have to be an expert as long as someone else is willing to praise your product or service. You get a double bang because people want to own or use things that are popular, and they want to associate with successful or popular people. Read what your stockbroker is reading now and know what your stockbroker knows. Here are the 5 things all successful internet marketers have in common. Why Oprah won't leave home without this makeup item in her purse. 15 popular presidents carried a silver dollar with them. Here's why you should too. 9. Be colorful. People are naturally distrustful of advertising, especially when it seems a bit hard to believe or when they feel disconnected from what the headline is saying. Add a little down-home authenticity and watch your response rate soar. New York cab driver discovers secret to better vision. How one Texas ranch hand wins 8 out of 10 poker hands. Swiss jeweler rocks the world with new simulated diamond. Florida housewife bans roaches using this common pantry item. Now you've written the perfect headline. It's time to hand the baton over to the email body so it can do its job. Here's how to do that. The next chapter is going to show you how you can make more money by attracting friends
and not selling people.